Hello, everyone, and welcome back to It All Starts With a Wish podcast. My name is Rachel.
And I'm Mark, and we're back at it. Sorry we missed last week, but it was a holiday week, so we just didn't do one.
Some were
last
not happy.
week. Sorry.
To one person in particular.
Yes, one person in particular. We heard from about it. Didn't hear from anybody else that was, very upset about it, but we're sorry we missed last week. But
sorry.
Happy Independence Day. Belated Independence Day, I guess.
I hope everyone wasn't too disappointed by their local fireworks compared to Disney's fireworks.
I think you always are.
Yeah.
Like, once you see Disney fireworks, it ruins fireworks everywhere else for you.
I want it to choreograph to music, and I want lasers and light projections and a whole story. Where's the theme? You know?
Yeah. Nope.
They do their best.
They do their best.
Locally.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it. And
ours was interrupted by a microburst.
Yes.
Crazy.
We had a huge storm.
Came out of nowhere.
It was, there's actually a huge part of a tree down in my parents' yard.
I don't doubt that. It was crazy.
They didn't say anything.
It was like 60 mile per hour gusts.
It was, wow.
Out of nowhere. Nowhere. Like, it was fine. And then 7:45, I heard a rumble of thunder, and then the wind picked up. And the next thing you knew, you were in the middle of a hurricane.
Yeah.
Wind was whipping, rain was whipping.
I was putting our son
thunder
to bed,
and lightning.
And I literally thought at one point that the AC unit in the window that we have was, like, shaking. And it was going to, like, fall out either into the room or out of the room. But there wasn't, like, was there a lot of rain? I didn't hear a lot of rain.
There was a ton of rain.
You know why I didn't hear it hit the AC? Because it was windy, so it just wasn't even hitting anything. Yeah. It was just getting...
Like half an inch in 10 minutes. Like, it was crazy. Crazy! Anyways.
That is crazy.
So it washed out our fireworks. Not many people got to see our local fireworks because everybody...
They still went off. Well, they went home, but then people braved the storm.
It's much like Disney, folks. Once you load the mortars, they have to shoot them off. So once they got them loaded, people always ask this, once they're loaded, you got to shoot them off.
So if all of a sudden Disney's loading them up at 8:45 and there's 15 minutes and then all of a sudden a huge storm rolls in, guess what? There's going to be fireworks during the storm.
It's very rare that they do not load the mortars.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying very
almost every night there will be fire.
Yeah.
It may not go off at the exact correct time.
Mm.
They might
wait a little bit, yeah.
But they will shoot them off one way or another.
Yeah.
You may be waiting all night.
Can't keep them in there.
They will
so some people locally did stick around.
Yeah.
And then they saw fireworks after.
They did.
Because then it cleared up fine.
Anyways, updates. The biggest update since the last time we talked is the fact that the multi-pass selection groups have changed at Epcot with the reopening of Test Track, what I call Test Track 3.0. And this will be available starting on July 22nd of 2025. So a reminder, if you forget how Lightning Lanes work, there are, in most parks, 2 different tiers. Mm-hmm. You have your Tier 1 rides and your Tier 2 rides. Tier 1 rides, you are only allowed when you can select 7 days in advance if you are staying in a Walt Disney World Resort hotel or affiliated hotel. You can pick your Lightning Lanes in advance, 7 days in advance. So a week in advance you can book. If you are not staying in a Walt Disney World Resort hotel or affiliated hotel, you have to wait until 3 days before. One of the great advantages to staying on Disney property.
Which does make a difference.
It
that 4
does,
days
especially for the Tier
difference.
1s. Especially for the Tier 1s. So you can select at that point 3 Lightning Lanes for the day that you're purchasing. So if we want to purchase for the following Monday, we get 3 Lightning Lanes. You get 1 from the Tier 1 and 2 from the Tier 2. We apologize if you hear scratching in the background. We have a studio audience tonight in the form of our dog, Sadie. Hello, Miss Sadie. How are you doing?
That good.
She's doing great. She's
really great.
Laying back down now. So with the reintroduction of Test Track into the lineup, starting on July 22nd. Up until then, July 21st, it still remains the same as it's always been. But on July 22nd, the change that will be made is Test Track is being added to Group 1 So you can only choose on your first selection, 7 days in advance, 3 days in advance, one of the following: Test Track, Frozen Ever After, or Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. The ride in Tier 1 currently that is getting bumped to Group 2 or Tier 2 is Soarin' Around the World. So Soarin' has now been bumped. It is now included with Disney and Pixar's short film festival Journey into Imagination with Figment, Living with the Land, Mission Space, The Seas with Nemo and Friends, Soarin' Around the World, of course, Spaceship Earth, and Turtle Talk with Crush. So Soarin' will be moving from Tier 1 to Tier 2, and Test Track will be filling its space in Tier 1.
Honestly, haven't seen that ride go past like an hour.
Soarin'?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why. I think since they've opened up that new third theater for it,
it just gets through people much quicker.
It does. Yeah. It's a highly effective ride.
And they're not even filling it.
Right.
Like, so
I wouldn't say that it's not people like even riding it either. Like, I just think that they have that ride down to such a good science that
it's just constantly running and just people are constantly moving.
They move people.
It's more like an Omni mover than like a.
Really,
it really is. You literally wait maybe twice.
So that was the biggest announcement in the last week since we last talked with you all. Other minor announcements like the Liberty Bell is officially closed now. But over the weekend, of course, was the 4th of July holiday. And in line with these celebrations, another update, and that gets to what I want to talk about today. I think for a long time, people have avoided visiting Walt Disney World in early July, right? Because I think everybody thinks, historically, right, this has always been the case, that summer is busier than other times of year. Well, now, actually, the summer is one of the more quiet times, and the wait times on July 4th actually bore this out. Like, the wait times were pretty low for a July 4th holiday. Like, there were even articles on some of the accounts that we follow about how low the wait times were comparatively to prior years.
Yeah.
So, if you can get over the heat, I think actually, like, visiting on July 4th is something I would have never suggested before, but now is becoming more and more of a thing. It's kind of like a post-COVID phenomena where I don't know if it, post-COVID, has made parents more likely to just take their kids out of school. More people are homeschooled. Like, I don't know what's happening, but there's been a clear shift where now people
are just tired of the heat.
Are moving to the, like, more comfortable months rather than the summer months, which is just surprising, I think, when you think about
it is surprising.
The huge audience being kids and kids being in school. And this is really kind of a post-COVID phenomena that has developed. We talked about this with one of the minivan drivers who was talking about, like, even changing patterns of when people visit certain parks, like Saturdays formerly being a Magic Kingdom day. Now Saturdays are some of the best days to visit Magic Kingdom. So things have shifted and things are changing. I don't know what the root of it is. But to your point, right, don't be disappointed with your local fireworks.
Then just go to Disney.
Just go to Disney. And so how do you celebrate, I think, is the question that we may get.
The 4th of July?
The 4th of July in Walt Disney World. So obviously this isn't going to do you any good this year. But maybe you want to plan a trip for next year.
If these trends keep happening.
So what things in Walt Disney World should you do to make yourself feel like a Yankee Doodle dandy on the 4th of July?
Hold on, I have to think about this. Are we going, like, in order of the day? Or just in general?
Just in general.
Oh.
What are attractions, things that you should see and do around the 4th of July?
You have to go to the American Adventure Pavilion in Epcot, and you have to see the show.
Of course.
Duh.
You have to.
And the Voices of Liberty.
It's a must do. Thank you. Okay. Now we're talking
All
here.
right. Oh, sorry. I missed them.
So, Rachel is talking about Epcot in the American Pavilion inside of Epcot's World Showcase. There is the American Adventure Show. And the American Adventure Show is about a half hour. And it incorporates both music, storytelling, animatronics, and video screen and projections to tell
Like historical events.
the story of American history. It is a very
The good things of
It's a
American
very
history.
rose-colored glasses version of American history, albeit. But
Well, it does highlight some not fun things.
it does.
The biggest one being the Civil War.
Yeah.
That's pretty not fun.
Yeah.
And it does touch on slavery.
It does.
And then I think the only...
And indigenous people dispossession.
Yeah. And the Twin Towers. And, like, things like that. But very, very, very briefly. It's not going to make you feel sad.
Well, it may make you feel sad for a little bit, but...
Yeah. I
The whole
do
thing
cry,
is intended to be
but
uplifting.
yes.
Anyways, I do think even though it is a very rose-colored glasses view of American history, it is a worthwhile endeavor, especially if you're visiting around the 4th of July, to do yourself some learning and sit down in some nice air conditioning and, kind of go on an adventure with our American ancestors, shall we say.
Yeah. I know this might seem a little weird, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say you have to do the Carousel of Progress.
Paul, we start hard stop. We have not finished talking about the American Pavilion.
Oh, okay.
How can you move on?
Sorry, I'm moving on.
No.
That's
You
the only
also
thing in
mentioned
there, really.
Bull.
Voices
There
of
are
Liberty.
two other things in there
okay,
which are well worth your while.
I'm sorry.
Usually,
Oh my goodness.
when you enter into the American Pavilion, there is
People,
usually
if you don't hear me
Shh,
after this,
quiet.
it's because he took me out.
In the American
I'm
Pavilion,
so sorry.
there is usually always some sort of almost like a museum kind of curated experience, and it does change periodically, but right now it's actually really kind of cool. It is a project with former President George W. Bush. Many people do not know this, but
First or the second?
George W., so the son.
Oh, W.
Yes.
Okay.
George H.W. would be the father.
No one can see me, but I'm putting up 3 fingers. Isn't that what he used to do?
I don't remember W doing that, but people
Really?
would call him W.
I know, but I feel like he did the 3-finger thing. I'll look it up.
I don't remember him ever doing the 3-finger thing.
Whatever.
But anyways,
It's a W.
staying on track, the current exhibit in the American Adventure Pavilion is Portraits of Courage, a Commander-in-Chief's Tribute to American Warriors. Many people may not know this about George W. Bush, but he's actually an avid painter, and he's a pretty darn good painter, believe it or not. And the current exhibit is all paintings that he has done of service members. So people have served in our armed forces. He has done paintings of them as a thank you to them for their service, and he literally sends them a copy of it. But what is on display is all of these portraits that he has done of all these service members. So it's a really kind of neat exhibit and well worth checking out while you're in the American Pavilion.
Can I tell you what AI said?
I don't care what AI said.
It says former President George W. Bush was known to use a 3-finger W gesture when waving, particularly during his time in office. So I was right.
Great. Did you hear anything I said about what's the exhibit?
No.
While you were looking that up?
No. I can only do one thing at a time.
I know, and you were just focusing on that, and so now
Because
the
you
audience
said I'm wrong.
has to hear me repeat myself because you went on a wild goose chase.
Just give me a summary.
The current exhibit is called Portraits of Courage, a Commander-in-Chief's Tribute to American Warriors.
Oh, cool.
It is all paintings that George W. Bush has done of service members.
He's done.
Yes.
He's an artiste.
And they're very good. Yes. If you know, folks, we need like a button that is like when the host is not listening.
I get,
And like,
sorry, what?
co-host not listening, because I literally just talked about this, and I knew that you would have something like that to react to, and the fact that you were not saying anything, I knew you did not hear a single word I said.
Well, that's really cool.
Anyways, the other thing that you can see in the American Pavilion, which literally may be my favorite thing that we talk about today, is the Voices of Liberty.
They're pretty amazing.
Folks, the Voices of Liberty are a group of folks who do musical performances inside of the rotunda inside of the American Pavilion, and the acoustics in there are phenomenal. And folks, these people are amazingly skilled. Like, the talent in this group of singers is absolutely incredible. And they're going to sing you some patriotic songs, some like American favorites. Sometimes they throw in a little bit of Disney classics in there too. But they'll do, throughout the course of the day, quite a few different little shows, like 15-minute long shows, as you're waiting to go into the American Adventure Show. And man, oh man, folks, this is well worth your time. Like, to take the 15 minutes out of your day to sit down and listen to them perform.
No, it really is.
I would do it every single day if I could.
It's just truly amazing. I can't get over how they actually sound like that naturally. That just blows my mind.
It does.
That they are just singing. No editing.
Yep.
No nothing. That is just how they, the woman with the high note is just, and it's not ear splitting. It's like perfect. Crazy. Very, very talented.
Very talented people. And before you leave the American Pavilion, you have to go get some quick service barbecue at Regal Eagle Smokehouse. You have to go visit your friend and mine, Sam Eagle, who's going to pay a tribute to all nations.
Listen,
but
I
especially
wish
America.
that the Muppets thing in Magic Kingdom was still
I do
a
too.
thing. Because that
cool.
would have been perfect. And it's in Liberty Square. It makes perfect sense. I don't know why they got rid of it.
I don't know why either. Like, it just made so much sense.
It was just
It was
perfect.
a drop-in, pop-in show. Like, it was
Amazing.
not like a...
Funny.
It was funny.
People, you didn't have to stop. You could just listen for a little while and then keep going. It didn't really cause too much of a crowd. But it was really funny.
Disney, bring back the Muppets show.
Yeah, everyone's
Liberty
complaining
Square.
about getting rid of the Muppets and you're getting rid of the ride. Well, this is a cute little thing.
Bring them back to Liberty Square.
Bring them back.
I want my Sam Eagle back in the parks. But
He'll
no,
be there.
go to Sam Eagle's competition for the best barbecue out of all the Muppets. And for a quick service meal, this is a pretty good meal.
Yeah, with all the big smokers out in front and everything, it's really good. It's better than some sit-down barbecue that we have talked about in previous episodes.
I agree.
Woody's Roundup.
We're not naming any names, but...
Who said that? Sadie? Sadie's chiming in.
Yes. They can't see her, though, like, popping up.
That was cute, though. She was like, yes.
She's like,
but no, it really is. For a sit-down thing, this is some really good barbecue, and they have a wide spread of options for barbecue, too. Not just the things you would think of. They also have non-barbecue food for, like, kids' meals and hot dogs and, like, that kind of stuff, too. But the 4th of July, you know, it makes you want a hot dog real bad.
Or barbecue.
From Legally Blonde, too. No, it's from a movie.
Oh, I don't get it.
She goes, "It's Jennifer Coolidge, the actress." She goes,
I
"You're
don't know
dressed
who
like
that
the
is.
4th of July." From Legally Blonde. "I'm taking the dog." Swear word. You don't know this?
Nope.
Well,
No
anyways,
idea.
in the movie, Elle is dressed up like the 4th of July. And she goes, "You look like the 4th of July. It makes me want a hot dog real bad." It's just something that is stuck. Are you looking it up now?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
But thank you so much for sharing that reference.
Well,
that
other people will
I
know
do
my
not
reference.
get. Maybe
You won't,
not.
but I have faith.
Okay. Do you want to talk now about Carousel of Progress?
Yes. I think that it should be on your list.
Okay. Do you care
And
to
that's
elaborate?
Well, I think this one could be like kind of not overlooked, but just like not thought about in general. Like in general, people aren't going to think about it or like write it, but it just goes through America in the 20th century. And you go through hottest 4th of July we've had in years. I mean, come on. How can you not listen to that on the 4th of July?
Yeah.
In Florida.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Just saying.
It's
a very American Dream-esque. So
it is, and it is.
You don't agree that it's a 4th of July thing?
It's taking you through the decades with an American family.
Yeah.
And it is a Walt original, and Walt was a big, patriotic
You don't
kind
think
of
that
dude.
it's a... You disagree
sure.
with me?
No, I don't disagree. I will give it to you. And there is that particular scene, the second scene, that is set...
On the 4th
on
of
the
July.
4th of July. So I will give it to you because of that setting, and it is kind of tracking the progress of... progress.
Progress.
There we go. I was hoping that you were going to do it without me having to do it.
No, I wasn't.
Anyways.
I was thinking about the daughter dressed up as the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, yeah, she is dressed up as a Statue of Liberty. And they're going to go as Martha and George Washington.
Yeah. I'm so glad we put these lights, we hooked up these lights onto the back porch. It is just so much cool. You know, she reminds me a lot of me when you're trying to talk.
Yeah, she does.
And she just keeps
Yep.
going on and on about different things.
Uh-huh. And he's the only one making sense in the whole thing.
Really? Mm-hmm. I actually had an intrusive thought of the Carousel of Progress the other day. Don't know why. Couldn't tell you where it came from. But it was the Rumpus room. And I think it's because I was coming downstairs to the basement here, and the wallpaper. I think I touched part of the wallpaper on the stairs that was coming up, and I was like, "Oh, we have to fix it," and then that somehow turned into the Carousel of Progress. And she was like, "A Rumpus room," at the end.
Folks, this is how you know you have a Disney problem.
Yeah.
When
yes, dear.
You randomly think of the Carousel of Progress. Oh boy.
I think it just means we have to go back.
I'll give you the Carousel of Progress.
All right.
What else?
Oh. Can I go again?
Yeah.
I think you have to eat at Liberty Tree Tavern.
Of course, the Magic Kingdom.
We talked about this on
Liberty Tree
Thanksgiving
Tavern.
too, but this is another holiday. Thanksgiving and 4th of July are the two holidays that are perfect for this restaurant.
Of course. This is your American fare, your turkey, your pot roast, your mashed potatoes,
The best
your macaroni.
green beans you'll ever eat in your entire life.
Very good green beans. Very good salad dressing.
The salad.
The coffee, toffee, delicious, whatever that is, dessert. And all Americana themed. Like your waiters and waitresses are dressed up like colonial people. Each room is themed to a different founding father or mother. There's a Betsy Ross room. There's a George Washington room. I think there's a Ben Franklin room. So all different founding fathers rooms. Very quintessential colonial looking on the inside. This is truly an American experience one must have on or around Independence Day.
Yes.
I agree. 100%.
Anything else?
Can we walk across the Liberty Square over to the Hall of Presidents?
That was on my list when I thought about the Muppets
New
over there.
update. Also, one of the other updates that has come out, the Hall of Presidents is back open after a short refurbishment. Number 47, Donald Trump is back in...
it's a new speech, right?
As...
Or something, I heard.
Maybe he's back in a speaking role again, as the sitting president has always been in the Hall of Presidents. The sitting president will usually, they have a recording of them taking the oath of office.
Yep.
And then to the individual president's discretion after that, whether or not they want to record an address, or if they just want to leave it there with their inauguration, their oath of office. This, too, is about a 20-25 minute show, like a half hour-ish. It is called The Idea of a President. And it does not talk about every single president in the last 47 that we've had, but it does highlight some of the more notable ones and some of the more important ones.
Like turning point ones?
Yeah,
like in
crucial
history.
ones. Yeah, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, of course, 7 years ago.
They talk about Grant.
No.
They mention him, don't they?
Well, they name all of them at the end of the show,
no, but I
it
thought
doesn't
that,
talk explicitly about Grant.
I thought that they did.
But what you need to know is it talks about the two most important presidents of all. Abraham Lincoln and Theodore Roosevelt. The two best.
It does talk about
In my
Theodore
humble
Roosevelt
opinion.
a lot.
Keep your feet firmly planted on the ground, but your eyes on the stars, he tells us.
How inspiring.
I love Teddy Roosevelt. Anyways, the Hall of Presidents is worth it. And similar to the American Adventure, you do, when you walk into the waiting area, into the lobby area of this ride, have artifacts associated with the presidents and the first ladies.
Yeah.
So you can see some pretty cool things that they have on display. Those objects are usually on loan from other institutions, but they usually have some pretty cool things. They had Abraham Lincoln's top hat for a little while. Not still there, but they did have it at one point. So, pretty cool. The Hall of Presidents should be on your list if you're looking to celebrate America.
It does seem pretty fitting.
If you're there on July 4th. Can we talk about the most obvious thing, I think?
What?
That you should do, especially if you're there on July 3rd or 4th?
See the fireworks?
Of course. Nothing more American than blowing stuff up.
True.
And the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air. Okay, too much. So if you do not know, Walt Disney World has two specific 4th of July Independence Day related fireworks displays. One is at the Magic Kingdom. I think it's called Heartbeat of Freedom. Is that right?
No, the Heartbeat of Freedom.
I was right.
You were right.
Look at me go. Gosh darn it, I'm good, ain't I?
Wow.
I'm good. Say it.
You're good.
I am good, I know. The Heartbeat of Freedom, they offer this usually 2 nights in a row on July 3rd and on July 4th. This replaces Happily Ever After for those 2 evenings. So no Happily Ever After. It is a extended view fireworks show. So they will shoot off fireworks from more than just the normal areas. You'll get more of a 360-like view of the fireworks for this special fireworks display. And it is offered 2 nights, July 3rd
Oh, no,
and
it's saying
July
that this
4th.
year it was just called Celebrate America.
Oh, now you got to go and ruin it?
I'm sorry. It was called that. It's just called Celebrate America! Exclamation point. How anticlimactic.
Thumbs down.
You
Thumbs
were
down.
right though.
Heartbeat of Freedom. Much better. Anyways, check out those fireworks. And then, if you were there only on July 4th, you'll have to look up the name of this because I don't know if Symphony in the Sky,
I just got rid of it.
What is the Epcot fireworks called?
Symphony of Us.
No, Luminous. Story of Us is the name of
Story
the
of
current
Us.
fireworks there. But after the normal showing of Luminous on the 4th of July, they have a special add-on to the end of the fireworks show for the 4th of July. So it's not a totally 4th of July themed show, but they have a special add-on to the fireworks.
That is
4th
the
of
Heartbeat
July.
of Freedom.
That's
That's where
the
we got
Heartbeat of
that from. That part is the Heartbeat of Freedom. The other one is just Celebrate America.
Got it.
How?
Anyways,
Whose job was it to name that?
It's a pretty short
Really?
addition to the fireworks, but it is well worth it. In true Disney fashion, they will blow a lot of stuff up to celebrate things like,
Like, you can't even really tell what fireworks are going off or the
Yes.
colors because it's just
That's truly the best, though.
just
Just total
all
overload.
mishmashed all together.
We love that, though.
It is a lot.
It
So
is.
if you're not a fan of fireworks, maybe don't go see those.
Who's not a fan of fireworks?
Some people are not a fan.
Who is not a fan of fireworks?
Some children.
Communists. That's
No.
I'm joking.
Oh my gosh.
Nothing against the communists. We love
Oh
communists.
my god.
Anyways,
Oh.
after the fireworks, the hotel that you should be going back to if you are a true American patriotic 4th of July fashion, good old Yankee Doodle dandy, you should be staying at one of 2 places. Fort Wilderness Campground or the Wilderness Lodge. I think those 2 resorts, whether the campground or the lodge, are the best summations of like an American experience. The like outdoorsy, national park-esque, big, grand, log cabin-like things.
If you're going for more beach 4th of July, though, the Beach Club would be the other one.
New Jersey, okay? The Beach Club is focused in New England and New Jersey.
Yeah.
Who thinks America when they think of New Jersey?
Maybe the
Not
people
this
who
guy.
live in New Jersey.
Not this guy. Not even the people living in New Jersey like to live in New Jersey, okay? Wilderness Lodge.
I'm thinking like Cape Cod, Cottage Beach.
Oh, and that screams America to you?
Kinda.
No, it does not.
Whatever.
The Wilderness Lodge screams America. The freaking fireplace is the layers of the Grand Canyon.
Okay.
Give me a break.
I'm just saying, if you're
Hello?
less woodsy and you were more beachy.
Hello.
Hi.
America. Wilderness Lodge. That's where you should be staying.
Okay. Also,
and you can go to Whispering Canyon, too, which is another great barbecue restaurant. And nothing
before
screams.
you leave the parks, if you're at Epcot, though, in the American Pavilion, you should get a funnel cake.
I don't like the funnel cakes. That may be an unpopular
Really?
opinion. Yeah.
I haven't had one in a while, so I can't say. But they also have all kinds of fun treats for the 4th of July everywhere. So
yeah,
you could just get fun 4th of July themed desserts
spread across the parks. There's some pretty cool 4th of July themed things happening. And it is worth noting that at Epcot, since we went back to Epcot, that they did have a special... The new Spaceship Earth lights that they do with the shows, they had a special 4th of July show
with
too.
The flag and the red, white, and blue. And
be on the lookout for those things. They oftentimes will throw in very subtle additions around holidays, and things like that are worth looking for. So, if you're looking to be patriotic and visit Walt Disney World on or around the 4th of July, these are all the things that I feel like you have to do in order to truly celebrate America. I should say the United States of America. Because America refers to the Americas in a broad sense, North and South. And there's a lot of countries. There's a lot of countries in North and South America. The United States in particular, though, is the one that we are celebrating on Independence Day.
If you didn't know. There you go.
There you go. Did you hear the joke about the Liberty Bell?
The real one?
Yeah, it cracked me up too. You know you want to laugh.
I'm deceased.
Well, folks, as always, let us know. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to send us an email at startswithawish.podcast@gmail.com. Follow us on all of our social media accounts. And remember, folks, it all starts with a wish. We'll see you real soon.
Bye.